Huge game on Wednesday regarding the race for a top four. Chelsea take on Arsenal. Chelsea favourites going into this tie. Arteta's side have fallen by the wayside over recent weeks. After all that momentum they built up, Robbo, it seems to have all gone wrong. Where?
Well, their squad isn't quite good enough. They've lost their left-back, who's a good player, Tierney, so he's not been in the side, and he gave them a lot of drive going forward down the left-hand side. Tomiyasu, I thought, did really well at right-back. He's been out for a while, and of course Lacazette has been in and out the side. So Nketiah has been playing at centre forward in the last game, which I don't think he's quite good enough to play for Arsenal. And there's always been a lack of real structure about they play. When they play well, they can play very well. They play on the counter-attack. They've got quick players. But when they're not playing well, they can be quite open. They're easy to play against. And that's been the case in the last 2 or 3 games.
Can they turn it around now? Can they get something
I don't think they're
going?
going to turn it around against Chelsea. Chelsea look as if they found their mojo a little bit again after the embarrassment of the first leg of the Real Madrid game. They came out, they battered Southampton, they performed really well in Madrid, didn't win. Wasn't a brilliant game at Wembley, brilliant performance from them, but they controlled it enough and were the better side. I'll add another player into... The 2 fullbacks for Arsenal have been huge, but Thomas Partey as well, since I think the Crystal Palace game, that's 2.5 games. Yeah. They can't afford to not have him in the side because they haven't got a replacement in there to protect that back four. And for all those reasons, I just cannot... I can see Arsenal now losing 4 in a row. I just can't, because I think Chelsea are just going to be too strong for them.
How do you stop this if you're Arteta?
I don't think you can. You know, I think the biggest problem recently has been putting the ball in the net.
Right.
And he can't make changes. He doesn't have options to change it. So you can't change it. Because, you know, Martinelli you can't rely on to put the ball in the back of the net. Saka, you can't rely on him either for that. Lacazette's got 2 goals all year, something crazy like that. Mm-hmm. Odegaard, yes, he scored a great goal a couple of weeks ago, but it was too little, too late. Nketiah, as Robbo says, isn't good enough.
Yeah.
So how do you change it? You know, you look at Chelsea, how do they change it? Well, they've got options.
Sure.
That Arsenal just don't have.
So
you're stuck with it.
So do you give them a pass for this run, for not getting into the top 4 when I'm sure, like, just a couple of months ago we thought maybe they were favourites to do so?
Well, everybody will go back to the Aubameyang scenario.
Right.
I mean, personally, I think it was the right thing to get him out. And that's a decision that the manager had to make, one way or the other. But then you really could do with somebody... I mean, Lacazette stepped up and he's played OK, but he hasn't got the amount of goals, and that's the big difference. So,
unfortunately, you wouldn't touch any of these teams,
no,
would you?
I wouldn't. Yeah, well, put it one way: the rest of the Champions League teams will not be quaking in the boots if one of these teams gets
it's so weird.
Unfortunately for Arsenal, they actually got themselves in an incredible position about 3 weeks ago, where they were sitting in 4th, and they had something like 3 games in hand. And you're looking at it, and you're looking at the table, going, "How can they mess this up?"
They can lose 3 in a row.
But then it started unravelling. They're losing some goals, and they can't put the ball in the net.
But go back to what Robbo was saying. I don't. We can talk about strikers all you want, but the 2 fullbacks, Tomiyasu and Tierney, the 2 of them, they're a bit of a throwback because they both want to get forward and they both want to defend, and they're prepared to do so. They almost run. So for the likes of Saka and Martinelli and the rest of them, you've got 2 guys that are always supporting and always getting back in. And when you take that out the side, and don't forget Tierney as well. Tierney's a great outlet down that left-hand side in particular. I mean, he's more attacking than Tomiyasu. He's more likely to get down that wide position and whip a ball in. So it's been a big miss for them as well, obviously with the goal-scoring problems. And, losing to Southampton, to Palace, and now all of a sudden they're in the business end and they're staring 4 straight defeats in a row, and they're going to a team who've started to play a little bit better again.
Does Arteta get a pass, though, because of these injuries, Robbo?
To a certain degree, I'm not sure he's the answer to Arsenal getting to be a top club again, but I think they've overachieved a little bit this season. I didn't think they would get into the top 4. They should have been at the home and dry about 3 weeks ago, as we were saying, before they had the defeats. I think he's got the best out of most of the players he's got. They've missed the players when they've needed them. I would like to see him have more structures to their play, so when they're not playing with confidence, when they're not playing at their best, they can still win games. Because as soon as they drop their level by maybe 10% because they're losing confidence or they might not be quite fully fit, that's when they look an easy side to play against. We saw that against Crystal Palace, and we've seen that on other occasions. So he's got to do more with the structure of the team. But overall, I can't say he's done a bad job.
Prediction, Robbo?
I think Chelsea will win the game by a couple of goals to nil.
You agree, Craig?
Yep, I'm with Chelsea in this one.
Yep.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.